I'd rather fist a dog than be in a relationship. Stuff
my
like,
God.
You know what I mean? Like this shit. Like,
No, I'm not.
Are you serious?
she just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a daughter.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter. Welcome to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz.
And we have Danny DeVito and his lovely daughter, Lucy. Do you go by DeVito?
Yep.
You do.
Yep.
Lucy DeVito.
Hey.
Yes. So we have them, and they are here today. First of all, I'm thrilled, Danny. I'm in awe of you, and always have been in awe of you, and we'll talk about that. But you're promoting an amazing new animated show on FXX that you also produce.
Mm-hmm.
You work together.
Mm-hmm.
You both do the voices of Little Demons.
Little Demon.
Little Demon,
Yeah.
where you play the daughter of and Dan Harmon is about Satan's spawn. So your mom had sex with Satan. You are the Antichrist. Your mom had sex with Satan is
Danny.
Danny.
so it's like real life. So this is
Yeah.
a true story.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, except
Her mom had sex with you, right?
Yes, Aubrey Plaza, who plays her mom
Aubrey
in
Plaza
the show.
is not actually
She's not actually
my
her mom,
but in the
show,
is.
she is her mom. She
No, I
plays-
get it. But in
yeah,
real life, you had sex with her mother.
absolutely.
That's
with,
why
with
she's here.
Rhea.
I am actually
Rhea
his
Perlman.
daughter.
That's right. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yes.
It's kind of complicated, but we got it now. I
It's
think.
not that complicated.
No,
It's,
because a lot of animated series aren't based on true stories, and the fact is that yours are.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, funny, violent,
Yeah.
sexual. It's an adult cartoon.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So it's not something to show my kids?
No.
No.
How old are your kids?
6
No.
No.
and
No.
8.
No.
Yeah.
It's on at 10 o'clock
It's pretty dirty.
Thursday
it's
nights,
pretty
it's-
adult.
yeah.
So
Like your-
when
like
they're,
your
older,
dad
you
said.
can show it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is dirty and funny and
Yeah.
Danny, what's it like working with your daughter?
it's so great. I mean, you of all asked this question. It's just a joy to be able to do this with Lucy. I mean, we've been working, like over the years. She's an actress, and I'm, and all the stuff that I do, I show. I've been showing her since since I probably shouldn't have been showing it to her when she was a little kid. Just showing her all the things and how many times she has to listen to me do. You're rehearsing at home, or you're doing stuff. You're going through a script, and then as she got older, she actually read things that I was going to do, and then vice versa. She started getting involved in wanting to do it, and I reciprocated by listening to all the things like that she did in high school and all the machinations of trying to become do what you really love, which is acting.
So having Danny DeVito as a father, there must have been some fun, incredibly, because I'm just speaking for my daughter right now. There must have been some embarrassing, awkward, wonderful moments.
Oh, yeah.
What is the most embarrassing? What is the most embarrassing daughter-father moment? Do you have one that you can remember?
Gosh, I mean, I think that there were a lot. Like when, I mean, it's just somewhat embarrassing when he first came out of the couch as Frank, naked, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I was an adult at that moment, but it was still embarrassing. But when,
Is that the first time you saw your father naked?
no.
No.
Well, you were in the house. You
Yeah, I don't know.
And once in a while, a
He's
door
done a
opens.
bunch of nude stuff, like what, Big Fish,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. My butt was a
Yeah,
big,
your
big
butt.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, but there was this one time that was very funny that he took me and my sister to Las Vegas to see Siegfried and Roy. We were gonna see the tigers. We were around like 8 or something, and it was around the time that Little Mermaid had been released, and we were there a night early, and so we didn't know what to do. It was me and my younger sister, so it was the 2 little girls and him, and he was like, "Well, let's go see another show."
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
there was a mermaid show going on called Splash. And we were so excited because we were like, "Wow, mermaids." get to the show. It's a club atmosphere, banquets, spotlight starts, and there are naked mermaids up on the thing. And we were very shocked. It was a little awkward. And to tip it off, the place was very excited that Danny DeVito was in the house. The spotlight turned and the microphone put the spotlight right on us. Danny DeVito and his 2 daughters.
It was the typical Vegas packed house, big house, and then we were in the banquet, the big bank, the big mafia banquet like that.
Yeah.
One with the
where you can sit with the kids.
Yeah, we had to sit with the kids.
Were you
I
the
had
only
any
person
idea.
there with the kids?
Yes, of course. I
you know?
I had any idea.
He had no idea what he was
I
bringing
thought it was a
us
mermaid
to.
show. I thought
It was.
and all of a sudden they had no clothes on. It was like.
Is this what you told Rhea?
That's what I told Rhea.
Right, and we're supposed
Well,
to still
we
believe it.
still have, and they did come over with a photographer.
No. With
They
2 mermaids?
No, with the mermaids. Just took a picture, that typical picture of, people out and having drinks in a nightclub.
Yeah.
It was me and my 2 little kids.
Girls at a strip club, basically. You're just, come on, kids, let's make it rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember one time that was like, I remember you guys were all, I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were, but I was showing some movie, and there was a big auditorium, and it was a summer, and I was wearing shorts.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Do you remember this? Anyway,
Okay.
I've,
Where is this
blocked
going?
This
So
out of my memory.
I'll
Where
tell
is
you what
this
it
going?
was.
Yeah.
Well, you're about to remember.
It was just hysterical. I just thought it was like a real laid back situation. We went into this
Laid back, you're wearing shorts.
We went, I'd like
God.
jogging shorts, or like baggy. I always wear baggy shorts.
Right.
But short shorts.
But there were regular shorts.
Daisy
They were
Dukes.
regular shorts. And I had sandals on. I had a T-shirt. I remember when I went on stage, people invited me on stage, and I went on to talk to people, about whatever it was, what the movie was, or what, And I remember sitting down, and I remember that my balls came out. I remember this look on the kids were like,
The 2 girls again.
They ragged me like, it's like, it was just one of those terrible.
So
things.
and you
so
don't
they
remember
know
this?
Do you
I
remember
remember it because I was so embarrassed. Everybody's going, and they're going,
God, I mean, I feel like there have been other instances where that's happened too. So
you've
they
seen
all
his
blend
balls?
together in a horrible nightmare.
Yeah, horrible.
Yes. But they notified you? Your daughters?
I
are
think
the-
that some people in the front row. Were,
I'm here with the girls. That's what you should name your testicles. The girls.
The girls.
Yeah, the girls.
I'm showing off the girls
yeah,
again.
Jimmy and the twins. Yeah,
Jimmy and the twins. You know what's funny? And you got to be watching this on YouTube rather than listening. Every time he talks about that particular area, you have there's a I don't know if it's a twitch
It's
or
a
a tick.
cringe.
It's a visceral reaction.
It is.
Yeah.
He's my dad.
Right, and
Yeah.
you should not know anything about Jimmy nor the twins.
I don't want it. I don't care about them. They can have their own life. I don't need to know about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, working together, is it something that did you always know that you wanted to be in the business that your parents were in?
Yeah, I mean, I think that growing up, I was always on set and, kind of just admired both of my parents, what they did, and loved, I loved the movies, I loved TV. So, but it wasn't until I was in high school that I was actually a pretty shy kid, and I started to do theater, and it actually helped me come out of my shell. And then I but I was in school, and I think it was around in college when I kept doing it, and I was like, this
So
is
it wasn't
where I
like
wanna
they're
go.
not stage parents. They didn't
No,
say
no.
No,
I
you-
mean,
you
quite
have
the
two
opposite.
siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Grace used a couple years younger then
And-
Lucy, and then Jake, who's the baby.
Yeah.
So I have 2 girls and a boy too. We have
Yeah.
a lot in common.
Yeah.
And Jake is also a producer on Little
On
Demon.
Little Demon. He
Fantastic.
producing the
So
show.
it's a real family affair, this.
Yeah.
Producing, Danny, I don't know that people know, and this is why I've been in awe of you for years and years. I love, everybody loves everything that they've ever seen you in, but you've had a hand in some of the most epic films ever. Your company, Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey Films.
Jersey
yeah, well,
Films. You Pulp Fiction, right?
Yes, we did. Well, after when I started after Taxi, and I started directing, I went. I did.
Did you direct on Taxi?
I directed 4 or 5 of them.
Right.
But mainly that was Jimmy Burrows for everything. But I went to when I did throw Mama from the Train.
I love that.
Right after that, basically, I started getting a little traction as a director, and then I went into War of the Roses, and around then I decided to do the company stuff, and I did the company, and we started Jersey Films, and then basically it was just embracing other directors and people who had a vision for something that you wanted to help them along. In this case, it's like basically I'm coming along with the kids. Jake and Lucy are producing the show.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but we learned from the finest.
But you did.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I think that, people are kind of myopic sometimes. They go, oh, Taxi, or, oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But the fact that you have the ability, are you still jazzed about being an entrepreneur in this business and putting together
I'm really jazzed about being around it, now with this and with other, projects that we have developing, and whether it's television or movies. Yeah, I'm every day I'm immersed in it, and now that they're basically, like I say, they're carrying the ball with Little Demon. Like for 5 years now, we've been, it's all Lucy's friends write it, and Jake is in the
So did you bring it? Did you bring it to?
Well,
your dad?
I knew the writers from doing
Who are the writers?
doing Darcy Fowler, Seth Kirshner, and Kieran Valla.
And would we know them from another project?
They're pretty new. They're up and coming, but I know them from doing theater in New York. Darcy was a playwright, and we became very good friends. And they had another pilot that they did, and they're coming up and coming. Basically,
I think they're here now. Right?
Yeah, they're here. They're here for sure. But yeah, so it was around the time when we were gonna start working together, and I was gonna come in and work with Jake and my dad, and because I'm interested in producing as well. I was primarily just doing acting in New York, but now getting into this. Darcy brought me this idea, and we thought it was a really fun way for us to work together. Yeah, and Seth, one of the other writers, he grew up with Aubrey Plaza in Delaware, so sort of from the get-go, we had this concept of this broken family, actually playing father-daughter, and then Aubrey, this playing the mother she's my age, but it was very kind of in the world of our dark, twisted humor. So we had cast it immediately and just started rolling with the idea, and Dan Harmon, who does Rick and Morty, he jumped on board to help usher us into it. He's knows animation so well, and is an amazing storyteller. So he's really grandfathered us into this, world.
So, and then when do you go to this? When do you go to your dad with this?
Oh, immediately. It was
Before something's on pay.
It was a one-page idea.
It was. She called. I was out of the country somewhere, and she called and said that Darcy, our friends had this idea, and she told me basically the story about the family. And then she said, "When we would like you to play Satan." And I think I answered too fast because I said, "Yeah, I can." Like, right away, I jumped in. I said, it was really great. I thought, what a complex character, man. I never even thought about playing Satan. I mean, there are so many times I touched. I've been close to Satan in other, roles that I played, but this is like really a trip.
And what does it feel like when your daughter calls you and says, "Dad,
Yeah,
you're a perfect Satan"?
you're born to play the part, Dad.
You go, "I should have worn tighter shorts." But I think that's wonderful. I love this family. I love your whole, Danny, I've been following you for years, and I know a little bit about, even getting into the business. This is not something that you're a hairdresser, aren't you?
First I was a gardener, and then I shoveled snow, and then I did every other kind of job you can imagine. And then my sister gave me a job in her beauty parlor. Yeah, so I did that before.
You were a gardener.
I did, yeah.
Trim the hedges and then the heads.
And then the heads. And then, and I guess when I was around 20-ish, 21, I got interested in theater. And then went off and went to school and went to New York and did that. But the 18, 19, 20 years old, I was cutting hair.
Wow.
I wouldn't do you any good right now.
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
You're done.
Now, I know that you said that you chose acting later, like already when you were in high school and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But were you to me, if I heard my kids say they wanted to go into acting, and I'm supportive of anything they do, but I know that it could be a hard job. That comes with a lot of criticism. That comes with a lot of failure and stuff. So were you protective? And
of course. So all three kids know what it was like going through it. I mean, it always looks like from the outside, if you have any kind of success, it always looks like a piece of cake. But it's really not. It's very difficult, and there are so many different things. Like you say, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You're selling yourself. You're selling your so all those things were transparent with us in the
I
very
was
beginning.
very well aware of
the
I was getting into.
what she was getting into.
Yeah.
And we always
at a
encouraged.
very young age, you really aren't, are you? Or you saw it because your parents brought home if there was negativity?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I guess like when I was, very young, I was not aware of the complexities of the business.
Because she used to beg me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to go. I was traveling doing live, and she would come on stage and she'd go, "Can I go on the TV show? Can I?" And when there was a part for a little girl, or she saw the script or whatever, but I always said no until she was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, you had me do one. You had me do a McDonald's commercial.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was a horrible, horrible experience.
Well, in the scheme of things, while Lucy was growing up, and when she was in high school, you could see that she was leaning toward it. She wanted to do. She was doing plays.
I didn't beg to be in your stuff though.
No,
right?
nothing
No.
outside of school.
I
It
was
always-
actually very shy and wasn't.
But a lot of people in this business are shy. I think people always look at the characters they see and think that's the person that they're kind of talking to or meeting. But I think a lot of people are more comfortable like putting on a character and even being told what to say rather than. I just know that because having done a talk show.
Yeah, of course.
People aren't comfortable. Maybe this is uncomfortable for you. I hope it's not.
No, not at all.
But it's different than acting. And it's different than portraying a character. And so it's not shocking that you're shy.
Yeah.
I'm not good in public either, outside of this. I'm not.
Really?
I'm uncomfortable. I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
I do.
I think most people do, actually.
Is your relationship, are you, I think you're a practical joker. I know you've been involved in practical jokes. You're really funny. I've read throughout the years things you've done. You were just telling me one that
I saw one on Facebook. You could tell me if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Did you sneak pot into
Arnold's cigar.
Arnold's cigar? Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger cigar.
I was just reading that.
What is that?
It was kind of like, he's always playing jokes on you. He does. And we had a great rapport on Twins, and we had lots of fun, and it was kind of Ivan was really cool. God rest his soul, Ivan Reitman, and anyway, it was one day. We had a lot of the work done, and there was a little bit of time left. We had some shooting to do, but I knew it wasn't that like crucial. And we had lunch together, and we smoked a stogie in my trailer, and I just jammed a little weed in it. And he's a big guy. He didn't smoke the whole cigar. He just smoked a bit of it. And we were walking out, and we were hanging out and talking. And finally we got to the set, and he didn't know where the hell he was. I was like staring out off into space.
I'll be back.
Okay, I just talked. Now you talk.
Did he get it? Hit him hard?
It's your turn. Nah, a little bit.
Are you a big smoker? Are you?
No, I don't do a lot. I don't smoke a lot of pot.
No, but
I have. But
you just have it to give it to others.
Yeah,
Other people.
Yeah. I always have. If you were to come over to my house, I always have. Now, especially now, there's always gummies or weed to hang around if anybody wants to smoke. I don't usually do it though.
It's just for guests.
It's for guests. It's
Don't touch the
It's like
guest
those
gummies.
crystal
If like some people like
would
white
you like?
wine,
Would
some
you
people
like white
some
wine? Would you
like
like-
red wine,
Yeah.
some people want to smoke a joint. They can always do that. Yeah, and a cigar. You can go out in the yard and smoke a cigar.
You can go in the yard. But gummies,
Yeah.
you can stay in the house.
You can
No.
eat the gummies in the house. Yeah.
Were you always a practical joker at home, like with your family? Did he always play jokes on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely goofed around a lot,
And
Are
you
you-
liked it? I didn't like his jokes when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think we were annoying.
Yeah.
Totally annoying. Yeah.
One of the, and I don't know if you even want to talk about this, one of the classic moments that I loved about you, anytime I see a TV listing, Danny, and you're in it or you're part of it, I remember watching, I think it was Regis and Kelly one day. Or Regis, and you showed up. You had spent the entire night having limoncellos.
Oh, that was The View.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. No, I
And he
was with
sat on Rosie O'Donnell's lap.
I was with Clooney and or maybe it was Whoopi. I can't remember.
That's how much he drank.
Yeah.
When you don't know the difference between George Clooney and Whoopi Goldberg, that's a lot of alcohol.
We're in a commercial.
What?
We're in a commercial.
Well, do I look stupid? I know we are. And I'm especially excited about today's new sponsor. You know why? Because I think this company's, what they're doing is genius, brilliant, breakthrough.
I know who they are.
What are they called?
They're called Masterworks.
Yeah, and here is why they're genius. Masterworks.com figured out how to let regular people invest like billionaires.
You're rich, Dad.
But I'm not a billionaire.
No. So you should. Okay. Let's.
So then this is good for me,
This is
right?
good for you, yeah.
This is good for me. And you, no matter what you have.
Yeah, these are multi-million-dollar investments, but you don't need millions.
I love that.
And most importantly, Masterworks produces results. Even during COVID and now with inflation, I'm talking like 29% returns on average. No, that's not a misprint. 29% returns on average. And every day the news about the economy gets worse. So that's why I'm so excited to have them as our new sponsor.
That is why. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you said 29% returns on average. Is that a misprint?
No, I already told you it's not a misprint.
Misprint?
Misprint. This is such a breakthrough for everyday people. Demand is surging, but you...
I'm Howie Mandel, so I'm getting you priority access. That's what I'm doing for you.
Right to the front of the line.
Right.
So just go to masterworks.art/Howie to skip the waitlist at Masterworks. See important regulations and disclosures at masterworks.com/CD.
Okay, that's masterworks.art/Howie to skip the wait.
All right.
Now I'm going to go check them out.
Me too.
Okay.
We were out pretty late, and and we were drinking a lot of limoncello, and I had to do the show. I went home. I took a shower, and I went because I was going to leave on the air, come back to L.A. right after the show. And I remember going in the car, packed up, everything ready to go, and I was early to the show, so I fell asleep in the back seat, just sitting in the car waiting
Right.
for them to call me
Right.
to go on the. And then they woke me up.
Right.
And they said, "You're on."
Right.
And I walked out, and I really didn't know where that. I really felt like I was in it was an outer body experience. And then I started attacking George Bush and doing all kinds of great stuff.
I remember watching
remember
that morning.
And
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, after the fact,
and then
saw some of it.
like I have a good
Wincing again.
a good button to that story was a friend of mine was out of the country when it happened, and he lives in the Upper West Side somewhere, very far up, and he was riding his bike about a week later, maybe 10 days later he was back in town, and I hadn't seen him, and he was coming down the West Side Highway, and there was a homeless guy laying on the side of the road with a newspaper over his face by a red light where my friend had to cross the West Side Highway. And he just glanced down at the guy in the gutter. And there was a paper on his face that said, Danny DeVito, drunk on The View. And he went, what the hell? He immediately came to call me and said, what happened when I was away?
He had to lift the paper to make sure it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
pretty
amazing. But that was like an epic moment, which I thought was wonderful.
Yeah.
And you thought you were not embarrassed by that. It's just
no, not really. But it's like it is funny. It's like
it's incredibly funny.
Yeah.
It's incredibly. The thing that that radiates from you, Danny and Lucy, as I'm meeting you, is that you guys are real. You guys are. I never thought. The key for me is. Well, you guys grew up in New York, you grew up in the business, but coming to show business, to see people that you'd want to be friends with, or you'd want to hang out with, or that make you laugh and make you smile and entertain you, I think are few and far between. That doesn't mean I don't love a movie, but it's not like I want to hang out with those people. Danny, you've always seemed like somebody that was just a joy to have in your life.
Oh. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know what.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can you expound upon that?
I like, and then I think there's a thing about like also the different parts you play. Like you try to mix it up and do a lot of different roles. And some people relate to the the penguin in me, and some people relate to the dad in Matilda or whatever. And so I think part of it is, I've always embraced. I love the business. I have a good time doing this. I have a great time being here with you guys, and I think, and I know it's part of it. We're talking about Little Demon. We want to get that out to the people to see. So all of the different aspects of the business, I've always liked. So maybe that makes it feel like I'm a guy you could be friends with.
Yeah. Do you like comedy over drama, or do you like drama, or you like it all?
I like it all. And I like tampering with it all. Like in L.A. Confidential, I like that kind of thing where I could be I don't have to be the good guy all the time. And in Batman, it wasn't a good guy. I like the drama of it. I like the opera of it too. So like for instance, in Little Demon, the thing about this is like we can really open up the lid. We could blow it out.
I feel that this show pushes the envelope further than any other televised animated show has ever pushed the envelope. Do you think?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
I think so.
So knowing that, are you getting both of you as producers, and anybody can answer that? Are you? Is there any pushback from the network? Because it is almost shocking.
Yeah.
It's great, but
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Is it? Are you getting any pushback? Are you getting notes? Do you have to make big cuts? Tell me.
No, we're getting from. I think from the outer regions, like in some people's idea, what they feel about the devil and what about we're getting feedback from religious people, a little bit of that, a little bit of pushback there. But most of the people who like comedy and like things to be a little extreme and like you say, like really pushing the envelope. I mean, we're getting a lot of love.
But what I'm saying is, you're handing in scripts to the network. Is the network going, oh my God, because this seems further than anything I have seen on traditional non-cable television or a streamer.
That is so
right.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but you look like we treated the show. It's an animated show, but it is adult, and you look at other TV shows, I would say, and that are non-animated, live action, and they can be pretty shocking too.
Nudity and violence on
On FXX.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, and they are fearless.
That is their motto. They are fearless.
Is that right? That is their motto. So you've
Well,
never.
and now things are a lot more
This is
scandalous and
But
stuff. I don't know if this
This
would.
is
we do
cable.
we
Yeah.
do adhere to standard and practices and whatever and all those kinds of things, and we try to keep it like basically we're blown up beast guards too, so it's like really there are a lot of like crazy things in the show that I think that so far we've been in there are parameters, and then there are other ones that we still.
You premiered in August with your first. Is it 10 episodes? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 10
Yeah.
episodes. Have you gotten a pickup for
No,
season 2?
not yet.
So, but let's get
Yeah,
you a
keep
pickup.
Yeah, let's
Keep
get
our
one.
fingers
I will tell
crossed.
you, as somebody who's watched it, it is deserving number one to watch, and hopefully the network. Not that I have any say or whatever, but I would imagine this is a gem. And
Thank
I would
you.
imagine it's already great, but I also believe in the fact that I come from the Brandon Tartikoff school of
Yes.
television, where if he knew something was good, it was great.
Yep.
But it only gets better if you allow people to percolate and
Exactly.
kind of
Exactly.
just soak in their characters, their stories, their scripts.
Right.
There's no reason to let
I
something go.
feel like we're getting better and better. The show, it's like we've escalated, and the finale is even farther.
You got a lot of guest star voices,
keep-
don't
Yeah.
you?
growing.
Yeah.
We keep
But
growing.
I
yeah.
do think, you're right. Like as we get more opportunities to show the characters and deepen the relationships, it gets funnier, it gets more meaningful, and we're able to explore more the depths.
I-
of
Do you
what the
record
world
together or do you record separately?
Well,
We're because of like COVID stuff, you're not really allowed to be in the same room, but we're
You're going to be in different booths at the same time.
different
Yeah.
booths at the same time
We
is
do
what
that.
we were doing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you veer from the script? Is there any improvisation?
there's a lot of
Yeah,
overlap.
there's some.
sometimes
There we finished
do send.
sentences.
Yeah.
See what they're doing?
I get it.
See what they did there?
And I mean, that only makes it more.
No.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, but we come from a family where we talk over each other
Mm-hmm.
a lot, so it's pretty fun to like actually bring that into the show.
And there's a lot of room for improv in
Yeah.
the show, and I always like that. You like it too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that we admire. Well, you don't have to be rigid to certain
No.
things. You know
we
what I mean?
we start off with the script, and
Yeah.
there's the writers have written pretty much every word, and they choose what it is. It's their show in that sense. But
Do you have a hand in the writing or the storytelling?
I mean, we give notes, we have thoughts, and we are invested in the characters
We collaborate with
the,
them, yeah.
the development of it all. So, and they're very open to receiving any, notes and, thoughts that we may have. So it's a very collaborative.
How do you find the
experience.
time, Danny? You're like on everything. It's always sunny. Is that a big schedule?
No, that's a 3-month, baby. Like that's like really basically Charlie and Rob and Glenn write it, so they do most of and they're with it at the end of the season. So my involvement is basically 3 months of like on the set, like in the bar, wherever we go, whatever we do. That's basically 3 months of, and we've been doing it for 15 years, I think.
Yeah.
And so, like, and in just looking at that, for instance, in the beginning, we had no audience in the very beginning of that
Right.
show. But that's the nurturing thing of the studio. That's what you really want. You want that Tartikoff feeling that, and John Landgraf is like really got that in mind. I know. And even with Cheers, I remember that was a Tartikoff.
Right.
And that was like, so that in the beginning of that show, there was no audience, basically. And it went, it was an 11-year run.
I used to see you at all the NBC functions because I was
Right.
on St. Elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We go there with Reed.
I've been around for a
Yeah.
long time.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, I'd see there with your wife. Do you, are all 3 kids in the business? Are all? You said you and your brother. What about your other sister?
My sister, she's a visual artist. She's a painter.
Painter.
Yeah.
So everybody's creative.
Everyone's
Yeah.
Artistic. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's creative.
Artistic.
Artistic.
Okay.
I said.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I said
Everybody's-
artistic.
Artistic. What about you guys, your family? Are you guys all in the business? Or?
No, and I wasn't trying to be either. I was a
Uh-huh.
teacher. I went to school to be an educator.
Okay.
My brother is the only one that
He's producing this. My brother, my son Alex,
Uh-huh.
is back there. He flips on the on switch.
Hey.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's married with 2 kids, and
Mm-hmm.
then I have another daughter who's also married who doesn't not only doesn't want to be in the business, doesn't want even her picture taken. She's
Got
not
it.
even in her own
we
wedding
call
album.
her secret sister.
So we get the shy one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but she has no desire
Yeah.
to be even have her picture taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she went to school. She was a physical therapist, and now she's a personal trainer.
Oh, cool.
So she works me out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm
you know.
trying. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
You're not married. Do you have kids?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. And is
but-
you involved in her personal life at all?
In Lucy's personal life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know her.
I have a boyfriend,
boyfriend.
and so
And
Yeah. Very nice guy. Oh, yeah.
is he critical?
love
Because I was really tough when she was dating.
oh
Really bad.
no, he's I like don't. I'm like you
She's
can't
secretive
really
and-
you can't really
that.
talk about it until I let you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
I don't know about the guy until
No, but I'm
3
even
months
talking
or
when she
4
was
months.
younger. If a kid came over and it was, were you very protective?
He seems so much more chill. Like you're way more chill. I
Then-
think.
then
he's
you-
really chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
you're
because
chill.
he had a lot of pot around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had bowls of gummies.
Both. I mean, I was really tough. I
Yeah.
was
Uh-huh.
really.
No,
I
they
didn't.
were, my parents were not tough. They were more like, I don't know,
And they were wow.
hang out. You
Well,
know,
that's
But
great.
were you guys all really good, well-behaved kids?
Yeah.
we were.
I thought
We
I-
were
Oh,
actually.
Well, that's
They
why.
were
She
really,
wasn't.
They were really great, and growing up out here in California, if you look around, there's a lot of a lot of stuff laying around the side of the road in that way because, kids have a tough time, especially in our business. So I really feel like I'm very fortunate.
You are
I'm
lucky.
trying to knock on wood,
I have nothing
touch
wood.
iron. I've only good things. Had good experiences with the kids.
You're really lucky. But
Really.
if, obviously you did something right. And I would imagine growing up. I mean, you grew up kind of.
Right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it, and that was that an issue? Your last name, just
Yeah. I mean, I think that it was always, it comes with, good and bad side, like.
she never
I-
told anybody who her dad was.
Yeah, that's how I had definitely had a whole summer at camp where I just didn't tell anyone, and didn't want to tell anyone. And, I would always sort of cringe the first time someone would say my last name because I'd be like, what's going to be their reaction, because some people are very chill about it and don't care, but then there are the people who are like, oh, that's your dad, that's it, what's it like? I'm like, okay, we can talk about him for the rest of the time if that's what you want, but no, this is who I am,
Right.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said growing up,
Yeah.
being the child of celebrities.
Yeah, yeah,
two.
yeah.
You had 2.
Though I mean it wasn't, we were never really anonymous, so that is, it was intense.
But it seems like you did a good job,
We got
Danny.
through that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we never really. I never was. I mean, I didn't really. I was aware of the fact that that's going to happen to them, but I never shied away from it. Like said, you got to tell somebody that I'm your dad. We can go somewhere and go into a supermarket or whatever, and if you don't want to stand next to me, it's cool with me. I'm okay about that.
Do you like being famous?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I like it. I think
like
it's-
recognition?
I love always love the fans. Get out there, always do the autographs and whatever, the selfies now, which is like really incredible. And I do a little social media, but I don't talk to people much.
You have an
on it, but
OnlyFans page?
But I have a what?
OnlyFans.
No, I don't. I don't have a. I do Twitter once in a while. And
Are you worried to tweet and to say something that could get
I
you in
don't.
trouble?
I don't really get. I don't. once in a while I'll say something like, about the Supreme Court.
No, but I don't mean political. What if you take a selfie and your balls are hanging out?
Oh yeah, no,
Then we go viral. It'd be great.
That's why he doesn't need an
Great
OnlyFans.
promotion.
yeah, I'm very.
Well, it was very funny at the premiere of Little Demon. He was live tweeting, as promotion and everything. And he forgot to tag the show and hashtag and all that. So he was just saying lines from the show, which are absurd and ridiculous, and
With no point of reference.
with no point of reference.
Oh my
and
God.
I didn't know this.
people went insane. They're like, "Is Danny DeVito having a stroke? What is happening?" It turned. Then he was like, realizing, everyone thinks I am going insane.
Yeah.
This is for a show I'm doing. People were very disappointed.
Yeah,
Because insanity is a better story.
Yeah, it's a better story.
It is.
It is a better story.
But it was an honest mistake. I didn't know that I was doing the thing.
How did you get notified? Her?
I think one of you guys said, "Why are you the things
yeah.
are blowing up. Everybody's
Well,
worrying
I
about
think
me."
that we
on
were
the-
watching it on the.
Do you remember what you tweeted? What was the
No,
line?
I was tweeting lines from things that were during the show. I
Right.
was tweeting,
As Satan.
things like right out of the show. I'd rather fist a dog than be in a relationship. Stuff
my
like, you know what I mean? Like this shit. I mean stuff that, and I, but I
Which
was
is an actual quote from the show.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And also a true thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was.
People thought you've been drinking limoncello.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Can you imagine just sitting at home and not knowing Little Demons is a show?
Right.
And you see a tweet from Danny DeVito, I'd rather fist
Fist.
a dog than be in a relationship.
Yeah. I think that was Aubrey's line.
That was it's Aubrey line.
But to this day, people saw that tweet, and a lot of people saw that tweet, have a reaction to that tweet, and still don't know. They're probably not on Twitter after that, and still don't know.
Still don't know
Great.
that it wasn't. Yeah, that's okay.
That's probably better promotion,
As
right?
long as they tune in to see Little Demon.
Watch the show.
Watch the show.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That was quite a night.
So you're learning social media.
And now, yeah. Well, I
don't know if it could ever be learned.
I don't pay attention to it too much, but I really dig. I dig that kind of thing.
Engagement.
A little bit. For instance, when not to get political, like you say, but when
this is going to be political.
When the Supreme Court.
I'm alone in a commercial without my daughter, Jacqueline Schultz, and I'm scared. I'm really scared. I don't usually do this alone, but I'm about to, because I got some questions for you people. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about. Maybe for you, it's an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed. There is this great app that I use, and I'll be honest with you, it helps me track all of my expenses. And because of it, I no longer waste money on subscriptions I don't even use. You might have heard of it. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions when the actual cost is closer to $200 plus. That's right. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. There's this app I love using that takes care of that for me. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. Can you imagine that? To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/Howie. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/Howie. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now at rocketmoney.com/Howie. And now I need to get back to Jackie and our guest. Take me there.
The Supreme Court went that way, and I said, "Supreme Court, my ass." That was all
Back
I
to the
said.
fisting.
That was like one of those lines that, all of a sudden the the hearts blew up on the.
But that's
thing.
what's scary nowadays. I'm from the same generation as you. You
Yeah.
know, the thing is, it's fun to engage and it's fun to get that audience, but then also we're in a business. You really
Yeah.
got to be careful,
Yeah.
and you got to the ramifications from just speaking today on different things are kind of awful.
Awful, off the charts.
These are old people talking to the young
Yeah.
people.
I mean,
old
but
guys.
I honestly am not very social media savvy at all. So
No,
no.
you're not on. You don't have an account.
I have a Twitter and I have an Instagram but I don't like engage that much. So I'm.
But what I love about that,
I sort of wish I was better at it. You know.
I love it. Like I've seen people actually talk to their fans on
I do.
on
You do?
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
I'll go
can
live.
start a thing, and you can
go
say,
live.
you can actually speak to people and tell them what you're doing.
Right.
Maybe I
You don't like that?
Yeah,
He's
no,
very
I would,
into social media.
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that if I knew how to do it.
I
But,
can-
somebody's got to give me a little lesson.
Dad, you give him a
Give me your
lesson.
phone up.
Okay,
Click on live
you
right
can
now.
Show me.
We'll do it right now. You want to go live?
No.
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 Okay. Look at the publicist. Your publicist sitting in the other room.
Yeah.
I didn't notice
Don't let him
anything
do it.
until that knee-jerk reaction.
Don't let Danny go live.
Yes. Is that a problem?
That's one of those things.
Yes. Don't let Danny go live. I go live. I
Yeah.
do it, but I'm
Good for you.
scared.
And that's
But
a problem too.
I've had a problem.
Yeah.
I've gotten in trouble a couple
Yeah.
times.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And also because I'm on network TV.
Yeah.
And they have sponsors.
Oh,
so
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
be
yeah.
really, you gotta be careful about
which is
that.
not my nature.
No.
No.
You want to be free.
I
wanna
want
let
to
you-
be free.
You
I want to.
You want to let your balls hang out.
Yeah.
Directing. Are you going to be directing anymore?
I'm looking for something to direct a movie.
Can I be in it?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would love to work with you.
The
in
thing
any
about-
capacity. I want
yeah.
to be an extra or
We're
something.
we're also working on a theater. We want to go on. We do. We have a play. Is what I'm trying to say.
You wrote
that
together?
We did. No, that was written for us. That we did in Dorset, Vermont. This summer we did a workshop, a 5-day workshop.
Right.
And we're gonna try to do that in New York next.
What is that about? Is it a father-daughter play?
It's a really cool play.
Yeah.
So it's it's
You've won a couple of Tonys, right?
I was nominated.
You were nominated.
Yeah.
He hasn't won it yet.
Okay. So
Well,
maybe
you know,
it's just
listen,
a-
like it's that the night is young. We're just starting.
Do you
out.
like the awards?
We're babies. Howie, look at us.
Look at
We're
us.
like
How
little
old are you?
kids. 77.
Do you
No, you're
ever-
not.
Yeah.
You have such great energy and such
Oh,
amazing.
man.
I thought you and I were the same age.
Well,
How
what
old
are
are you?
What are you? 42.
No, I have a decade. 67.
Oh.
60.
So you have a decade on me.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
you're an amazing force to be reckoned with. At 77,
Yeah,
3
man.
years away from 80.
No,
That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah. You got to keep going. Got to keep pushing.
Because you're interested and you're
Yeah.
curious and you
You're-
have projects. I think when people talk
Exactly.
about retiring, I
No.
think that just saps the life
Don't
out of
want
you.
to retire.
Ever.
No.
But you don't have to. You're your own.
Yeah, you just keep going.
You keep going. So the thing is, you're excited about possibly doing a play.
Yeah.
Was your first big recognition? Would that be Taxi? After I know you were already doing theater, but or Cuckoo's Nest was Cuckoo's Nest before Taxi.
Cuckoo's Nest was 4 or 5 years before Taxi. Cuckoo's Nest was 74. Taxi was 78. But before that, I did children's theater. I did
But I'm talking
Summer
about blowing
Stock,
up
I did.
as an international name.
Taxi. Taxi was it because there were 3 networks at that time: ABC, CBS, NBC, and there were the share that you got on a nightly show. Our lead-in was Three's Company. This is back then,
Yeah,
right?
which is like the
was
number one
huge
show, right?
Show. So our lead-in was Three's Company. We were on ABC, and one night, you know, when you go to work that day before the show was on, the pilot or the first show, you're cool to go out. After that share was 60 share or something like that because
Like
of
the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
Like Super
world.
Bowl.
Yeah, then the next day you go out and you're totally Louis De Palma. You're not, you're totally not Danny
That changed
DeVito.
your life.
Yeah, Taxi.
One of the movies that you produced, which I love, is The Man on the Moon.
Yes,
and
Andy's tribute to Andy.
I'll show you on the way out. I have the prosthetics.
Oh,
From,
yeah?
I have a jar full of the prosthetics
from Man on the Moon.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that movie, and I used to watch and follow Andy Kaufman
Amazing
at
guy.
the Comedy Store.
Amazing
and
guy.
the wrestling, and then
Amazing.
was it Mike Binder? Was
Yeah.
Mike Binder?
No, it was.
I think it was Mike Binder that was his stand-in all week for Andy to show up on Taxi.
At Taxi.
At Taxi.
Mike was there.
He's my friend.
Mike used to wear the Andy thing.
right.
It was like so that the camera guys knew who to
So
follow.
Andy Kaufman wouldn't show up for the rehearsals. He played Latka in Taxi, and he wouldn't show up for the rehearsals, right? Let me just ask you, because I've never had an opportunity. How did, at the time, I know you grew to love him, but was there any resentment of the fact?
No, I didn't. I just dug. Like, the idea is that, Taxi, we rehearsed 5 days, and then we shot on a Friday night. And so Latka had really cool stuff to do, but it was generally isolated stuff. It wasn't like, and it was like usually, unless it was a big scene, then Andy would come in. If there was a scene between Judd and Andy, or if it was he would come in on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we'd shoot on a Friday. But most of the time it was Mike walking around with the sign. But I didn't. It didn't bother me at all, because.
And how did he learn his blocking?
We used to show him. We'd show him the blocking.
You show him on Thursday or
on
Friday.
a Thursday when he'd come in, and we and Burroughs, Jimmy Burroughs, who was a terrific director, he would just move him around and stuff. And we would always, and it was on the fly anyway, that show, because we did hit our marks. We had the whole normal 4-camera task and everything, but we were pretty loose about it. I mean, it was a kind of a crazy cast.
Great people.
Yeah, all great people.
But Andy Kaufman I find fascinating. Did you ever get a chance to meet him?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Yeah.
I used to follow him and watch him, wrestling at the Comedy Store. I was at the Improv when he did that thing with the boil on his neck, and everybody.
Oh my
walked
God!
up.
Made everybody come up and touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
That was his act.
I was there.
Were you there? I was
yeah.
there that night. It was evening at the Improv.
Yeah, I was there.
He was doing evening at the Improv.
Yeah.
He had a boil on his neck, and the audience could line up and stand there and try to. You had it in the movie too, right?
Yeah, it's seriously
And I think
a real boil, though. It's not like a fake boil.
That's disgusting.
It's a boil.
What is your? It was gross, but
gross.
he was this artist.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree 100%. Andy would walk into a room, and it would change the whole psychological makeup of the room.
Even when he wasn't.
When he wasn't even speaking.
Right.
Right. He'd just walk into the room. Like, for instance, right now, if we're the four of us are sitting here and we've got the microphones. Well, if somebody you didn't know just walked in and stood right there and didn't say a word, I mean, it changes the whole,
But his performance art, his stage was the world. He was the busboy at Jerry's. I was there one night when he was bussing at Jerry's. Who is this for?
Jerry's Deli.
Did you ever have a moment where
I saw behind the curtain?
Yeah.
No, once I did. And it's something that I might have been the only person who saw it. But I didn't know what I was looking at the time. This is almost like a really crazy riddle. Mm-hmm. Okay, which it is. Okay, Andy did a thing with Jerry Lawler, where Jerry Lawler, was a wrestler.
Was the wrestler where he hurt his neck, right?
Where he does this kind of pile drive thing.
Didn't that happen on Letterman? Or
it happened in an arena.
Okay.
He got smacked on Letterman.
Okay.
He smacked Andy on Letterman because Andy really taunted him to no end. He wanted to get smacked. I mean, now nobody knew whether it was a setup or not. Now Andy does this thing. He wrestles with Jerry Lawler, and Lawler picks him up over his head and drops him to the ground. Mm-hmm. And he hits and now he's out. And now you had all the stuff that you saw in the news where they thought he broke his neck. They took him to the hospital. They did the whole thing. Everybody found. We had no idea what was going on. We meaning the cast and the producers of Taxi. And he went into the hospital with an ambulance, and it was on ABC News. It was all over the television news that this happened to this TV star, Andy Kaufman. Now, I saw that, and I went along, and I would always go along with everything that Andy did. But I do remember in my dressing room, seeing in his dressing room, which is right across the hallway, him doing yoga. And for some reason in my head, I always saw him in that plow position where the plow is a thing where people can put their feet over their head back so their neck is on the floor. You know what it is? And
the position that you would be in if you were pile driven.
Yeah. And I always had a thing in my head, right, that somewhere deep down inside, he knew he was getting ready for that violence in the ring. Now, I guess, to keep the magic trick a secret, I would, I'm not going to belabor it, but I do remember him.
It's amazing how many people worked with him so closely and didn't see, like even.
I suspected. I didn't really know. I didn't really know.
He's fascinating. And that movie is amazing. And Jim Carrey is amazing. What an honor that you gave him by creating that.
Well, George Shapiro, rest his soul, was like a really terrific guy, and I loved Andy from the very beginning. From all during the shooting, we were very close. I actually, my mother got to meet him. My mother really was a big fan of Andy Kaufman. She liked when he played the bongos. It was like this, because he did these,
ridiculous things.
absurd,
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, crazy.
The Great Gatsby.
Now, Andy,
how old were you during Taxi? You're 39.
I was not alive.
She wasn't around.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Born.
Yeah.
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 Time flies too fast.
See, Andy would be a natural to be on
Little Demon.
Yeah. In fact, we should have if we go to season 2, we should have a.
You know what? We can, if you
can
know his estate. If you know his estate, we can
do that.
We can resurrect him in this hologram proto company. We're talking to people right now. We can totally, in 3-dimension,
stick Andy up there.
Put Andy up there. Not only put Andy up there, but we can make him respond, and that if you wanted to ever do anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
I would, we'd have.
We could talk about that
afterwards. Yeah.
Afterwards. But I was such a huge fan. So I'm a fan of the work that you create, the work that you do. Do you want to direct?
Maybe. Yeah.
That's a yes.
Yeah. I think I could. Yeah.
Yeah? You think she could?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's on her way. Same thing with Jake. They're both on their way. They're getting. You get. What do you call it? Invaded by the business, by the art, by the magic of what we do. It's like it just somehow seeps into you. And if you're on the set a lot and you're around it a lot, if you let yourself be available to it, there's no, you can't help it. It just takes over.
I may be wrong, but did I read that Mel Brooks did a voice?
Yeah, Mel asked me to do he's doing. He's producing The History of the World Part 2.
He's producing that now?
Yeah, he's doing he's executive producer, and he also is narrating it. And they asked me to play Tsar Nicholas. It's like 2 or 3 lines. It was in the middle of the pandemic. And I read, of course, So I called him up. I said, "Look, Mel, I'm doing this thing. I'm going to do these. I'm going to play Tsar Nicholas. I'm doing this little show called Little Demon, and we have the part of a millipede that we would like you to play. And in the interest of you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You scratch." He said, "Oh yeah, Daddy, right." And it was a joy to see Mel
Brooks.
In the
finale episode.
He's in the finale episode
Yeah.
of Little Demon, and we did it on Zoom, which we all had to do during the. But we sent a kit like this, like kind of a
Right.
And in his den or his living room or wherever he was, standing there in sweatpants and a t-shirt with these things, the cans on, doing the thing and going, doing his lines. It was
awesome.
Come on, that's heaven.
He's an icon.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
man. Mel Brooks
absolutely.
is
How excited are you that you and your friends had an idea?
Unbelievable.
And this idea not only, comes to fruition, but the people that it's drawing in,
I know.
It is so exciting. I am absolutely 100% sure that there's going to be a season 2. It would be
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
yeah, but there's no reason not to. It's crazy not to. Regardless, I don't know. I would imagine the ratings are fine. The reviews are good. The show is great. I haven't seen all the episodes. I've only seen one. Honestly, I saw the pilot. I loved it. I thought, oh my God, I'd never seen anything like this that had pushed the envelope. And maybe there are, but I had never seen anything that pushed the envelope this hard in animation on cable television. But
thank you so much. Yeah, I mean,
no, thank you for making this.
It's a dream. So proud of it and so happy to.
And it's also nice that you
Yeah.
get to, my highlight of my week, regardless of any show I do, is sitting here with my daughter
There you go.
doing something and my son on the other side of the glass.
Yeah,
It's
truly.
it's like taking my daughter to a salad bar. And and my son is working the salad bar.
He's chopping the lettuce.
Yes, he's chopping the lettuce. But the point is that I love that. And, sometimes the best work comes from when you just enjoy the environment.
Yeah.
And you guys are really enjoying the
we
environment. So, we sense your heart. And any other guest stars?
We had Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold did a part.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, Arnold did a
Was
part.
he high?
What?
Was he high when
no,
he
he
We had
wasn't.
given him a cigar with some weed in it.
And then we asked him
and
to
then we
do the
asked him
show.
to do the show.
What does Arnold play in it?
He's an announcer in a game. You'll see in which episode is it?
3.
It's episode 3. So when you binge the show,
I will.
on Hulu.
Arnold
can-
Schwarzenegger is playing an announcer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
kind of like a cameo part.
It's a really cool part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got,
but there's a little cookie in there because I won't spoil it, but you want to see exactly. We do cut to the announcer a couple times.
Okay.
So that's the
So there's
cookie.
there's
little
there's
surprise
many
in
there's
there.
many layers. That's the other thing that
Yeah.
I read when I saw it. That's the other thing. There are like hidden cookies that the
Yeah.
shit that happens in the background,
Yeah.
Oh,
or
yeah.
that goes by, or
Yes.
that things that are whispered as asides, like not even
Yes.
the main line. So the point is that when you watch this show, you really got to listen and you really got to watch, and it makes you want to watch the same episode again because you feel like, did I miss?
You want to catch
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
You want to
So
catch them all.
They got these, and there's a lot of depth
Yes.
to
a
the
lot
humor.
of zingers. Yeah.
Yes,
Little things.
and I think that's wonderful. And I think
you.
this is not like anything we have ever seen before. I think it's an original. I wish you many, many, many years of production. You should
Thank
only
you.
have half the success that you've had with Sonny, right?
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah. This-
15 years.
Yeah, it's
Everything
Not
this
too
guy
shabby.
touches. No. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
You're wonderful people, and I can't thank you enough for dropping in. Is there anything else that you want to plug?
No.
No.
Well, no, we're good.
No, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Show tonight.
Little demon.
Yeah. that's
You're
it.
big fans of yourselves.
I'm big fans.
of ourselves.
Yeah.
Huge
We know-
fans of yourself. You
huge
never miss
fans of ourselves.
anything.
Yeah.
And if you should read that he loves to fist rather than that, realize that he's talking. Well, maybe that is true. Would you rather fist somebody than be in a relationship?
No.
No?
A dog? No. It's like that was Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks for being here. We got
Thank
Danny
you.
and Lucy DeVito. This has been. What is this?
Amazing. Incredible. Incredible.
No, it's
Spectacular.
Howie Mandel does stuff.
Oh, this been Howie Mandel does stuff.
Yeah, you didn't even know what this was anymore. Thank you.
I thought you meant how has this been? Not what is
What's
it?
that
What is
old
it?
daddy
What
daughter
actually is it?
communication?
We know what
It's
we
the
are.
daddy-daughter communication.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It's not working.
We love it.